Welcome to the Brosen. I mean, I you know what? I'm going to skip our introductions. Who cares? Because right here in the middle, in person, we have the one and only Big James, Abe Bueno-Jallad.
Yeah, Jallad.
Right the first time. I didn't say it right the first time. Jallad.
Like Jallad without the like gelato without the O.
There we go.
Yeah. Which I like because I just had a lot of gelato.
Dude, how was it?
It was very good. Have you had gelato?
Yes, but and over there as well.
It was very good.
I think he was talking about Italy, Adam.
Italy,
Yes.
not over there. Like in case you had gelato somewhere nearby.
like Dallas.
Yes, like the gelato was fantastic.
I secretly follow you to see what all your food pics are. It's like, oh, okay, that's where the gelato's at in mid-low.
Well, dude, Abe, welcome to the Brosen. You are one of the very few that have recorded with us in person, so this is very exciting for Sam and I and Ben, even though he's somewhat here, but not here.
Ben, we got you, bro.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I like it
yeah.
in person, man. It feels like you can feel people's energy,
Yes.
you connect,
We
you
like it
know?
way better.
Yeah. That digital divider doesn't work for me. I feel like I got to get in the groove, you know?
Yeah. So, first question.
Sure.
Big James.
Yeah.
Now, what's crazy is I've been on the show since the very beginning, but it's almost hard to remember, actually, the Big James is before you.
We'll
But you're
keep it that way, dude. We'll
actually-
keep it that way. When anyone comes to me and they're like, oh, you were, I was like, enough of that. That lore is dead. We got to bury it. There was only one. There could only be one. Give me the sword.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but it is actually 3.0. Like, there
Yeah.
was 2 before you.
Yeah.
But honestly, in the first 4 episodes, the role was pretty small.
Yeah.
And then the next 4, it was a little bit bigger.
Right.
But it was such a short amount of time that obviously you've been with us way longer than either one of those guys were. But what was it like coming in for the first time, season 2, going, oh, I'm taking over a role that's already been done twice.
Yeah.
Now I'm the third. Would you say that was easier or harder than
No.
other roles you've done?
So there were so many unknowns for me. Number one, had people already fallen in love with the previous interpretation of this character? And was I going to be like and then there was like the second component is like, had the castmates already fallen in love with that actor? And was I sort of like, oh, we liked him better, you know,
Yeah.
And then, you know, the last audition before I got Big James was Simon Z. So then I was like, wait a minute, Big James, but they already have a Big James.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, does that mean I'm number 3? I was like,
Crazy. I didn't know
okay.
that. Yeah.
So getting in there, and then of course, you know, like Dallas and I had met.
I'm so sorry. One moment.
Uh,
Copy you, Gwen. Thank you, Angel. You
We're
can go
on
home.
the job. We don't stop here.
Yeah.
We don't stop.
So actually, yes, we did. To clarify, we did just finish shooting a day on set here.
Literally.
Sam is still on the clock because he's Mitch this week. Because as you can see, Mitch is not here.
Why not, Mitch?
I know.
I'm saddened.
Yes.
Promised Land. His heart is in Utah. And not here with us in Midlow.
We got to get him like some red sand in Texas or something. I can show him a few places.
But speaking of set today, we shot some really cool stuff today. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
season 6. We can't talk about the details.
Yeah.
But what I would like to talk about is you had a big scene today.
Yeah.
You got some battle wounds. Can we see?
Sure.
Let me show me the battle wounds.
There's
Look at
some
that.
right there.
Golly.
You got all turned up. I mean, I don't know if I could. Yeah, we could show the back ones.
Sure, show
Yeah,
show
live
the
on the
back.
Brosen. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all
Here we
want
go.
to talk about it, but what happened?
Oh my
Oh, look at
gosh.
that. Goodness.
What
real
are y'all
photo.
doing on set?
So let's just say
we
Big
were
James got in
Big
a
James
scuffle.
for the umpteenth time got into it, man. You know, he
Yeah.
had to let him know.
Dang.
He had to say, hey, you know, I can't even share the lines, but
There's nothing we can say about this scene other than the fact you are consistently getting her on this show.
Yeah. No, but today was like was a good one. It was a culmination of a lot of preparation, a lot of conversations, and man, it's so cool. We definitely have to do a recap once we can talk about it a year
for sure.
from now. I think suffice to say it was a challenge. It was a very challenging day. I am on a lot of Advil right now. That's why I'm chipper. Otherwise, I was going down fast, dude.
I know. When I asked you to record tonight, I was like, man, there's no way. He's going to be beat to death. Like, there's no way. But yeah, you're like, let's do it, man. I'm in.
I was like, Angel, what is that? 200? give me 5 of them.
Yeah, and I would say overall it went really smooth today, right?
Yeah, I would say so, man. And I think it speaks a lot to the preparation, but also more importantly, man, we've been doing this a while. I was just talking to Jake, who plays Matthias, about it. I was like, man, we've been hardened. When you come in and you see people cool as a cucumber, they earn that. They earn that zen. Like those badges were not handed out nilly-willy. It was, fried, frozen, people passing out, water, cold, you name it.
We've seen the worst conditions. Yeah.
We really have. And then when you see people from our set work on other jobs, you see the difference. You see like, oh, one day in the desert, like, the other teams are like throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
And we might be a little red. We might got a little sunburn, but it's par for the course, right? Just another day. So I think today was just like a great culmination of so many things. Of the 3 other TV shows that I've died in all but one.
Wow.
So, I mean, I've done some choreography, but I think today was really special because the style of it. The TV show that we're on, no one's trying to be like the next Kung Fu Chosen. You know what I mean? We're really trying to stay within the world that we're doing and not kind of go too far into something that's not the brand, Yeah. And so I really feel that the things that we came up with today sort of honor that. And also Dallas was great. There were so many things that I was catching with some of the notes that he was giving me today, and it was like some of my bad habits, and I was like, he's on to me, he's on to me. And I like that. I appreciate that. So yeah, fun, man.
Yeah.
Fun.
So you touched on a couple things there I'd like to get into. One, you talked about us doing this for a long time, and you kind of got battle wounds or whatever, but yeah, what's it been like developing your relationship with all the disciples and basically all of our cast?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to that first thing, right? I remember rolling up on Utah, super nervous. I didn't know what the atmosphere was going to be like. And then George contacts me. Oh, nice. And it was like from that moment on, he was my heart, man. He was like, yo, I'm coming. I'm going to run these lines with you. He stayed up with me my first day in Utah, probably like till 11:30 running lines.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because we had that one walk up the stairs, down the stairs, and then, end on the problem with Samaritans button. That was my first day on, and it was one of my bigger scenes of that season. So that's
the chosen way. We talked like with Austin, his first day was the day he meets Jesus. That was his first day of filming, and we like to throw and somebody who does the schedule, which is Sam. I don't deal with the schedule. They throw you to the wolves. These actors, man. We just put you in the hardest scenes.
Baptism by deep end of the pool.
You guys do your hardest scenes first. No, that is 100% my fault, but no, it just seems to always be the way it lands. Yeah,
we become so close in not just in the challenges, but in the fact that we're. I love that we are out in the middle of nowhere with each other.
Yeah.
Like the things that happen when you're on the 14th hour of work, 15th hour of work, like the goofiness, the way that you bond. It's like, man. We really didn't get bit by mosquitoes today. That's a plus. And high five on that and go home.
There's a term for this. It's trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, trauma bonding.
We've been trauma bonding for 7 years. Yeah.
Trauma bonding. It's best bond.
These last 6 years haven't even trauma bonding of night shoots. And 100-degree heat.
I love night shoots, though. I got to say, man, there's something. The first 2 are rough because you're sort of adjusting the circadian rhythms. But after that, I feel like it's just us doing things. Yeah. Like the world is asleep and we're out here making movies.
I have said this before, where night shoots throughout the day, if you're outside, you see the sun moving. So it feels like the day is shifting. In night shoots, it kind of feels like you're just stuck in a fishbowl for those 12 hours until the sun comes up. And that's your only indication that the day is about to end.
100%. 100%. But it's also been cool to see your all's growth as well. Yeah. I mean, remember when can we tell this story?
Of course we can.
Yeah. Okay. So it was
exactly what you're about to.
I want to hear this story.
You and I have probably joked about this for 4 years.
2 years now, yeah.
It was our first week of interns, and this was season 3. Season 3. Abe is supposed to be checking in to base camp, which is where all the actors go. The background actors are similar, but they have their own little holding. And I'm checking in background, and sure enough, Abe walks right up to my table, and I never see Abe in the morning. And what were you told, Abe?
Dude, I got like nabbed, you know, like when they take a bad actor off stage with the stick. I got nabbed, and he's like, "Hey, have you checked in?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "All right, come with me." And I was like, "All right." So I just started walking. I'm like, "Where are we going? This is new protocol, like in the middle of a season?" And they bring me to Sam, and Sam and I awkwardly stare at each other like, "What? Do you know?" I don't know. And then I was like, he told me I needed to check in. And so like now I always...
The look of realization of like how problematic this is, because it's like our actors look the same as our background, but also you need to learn who our actors are on your first day on set.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that poor intern also wore an off-brand Chosen shirt on that day.
Oh no, bro.
And Dallas happened to walk up on him and goes, did you wear a... do we sell those? And he goes, no. And he goes, oh, so you chose to wear that on your first day to set? So not only did he get that, but he brought one of our principal actors to the background tent because he thought you were one of our background.
So now it's an ongoing joke between me and Sam that have I checked in with him today? You know, so I'm like, hey, Sam, I'm here. We're good. All right, we're good.
We're good, man. You're good. Yeah,
we're good. So yeah, those are the sort of things that you build over time to, you know, shorthand. Also the kooky things that happen. I think some of the stuff that happens, most people would be like, well, that's not necessarily funny to me. It's like, yeah, but you have to be fried in the brain in the sun to all of a sudden, you know, all the disciples singing this like Gregorian chant as we put on sulfur. And you're like, this is so dumb, but I love it. You know?
Yeah, dude, talk about that. That's one of my favorite moments.
So when we're out in the field, and this is mega great if you can find sulfur, and if you're ever, you know, in a field, it's the best thing because number one, it keeps away the mites, you know, which will tear you up, and you'll find that out the hard way. But number two, so all of a sudden it becomes this like
daily ritual,
daily ritual of like getting this sock that smells like eggs and just being like cluck 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 cluck, you know, like
it's got sulfur in it, and it keeps the ticks away, the chiggers and things like that. And you put it on your feet so that
for some reason, I don't know why, somebody starts doing like a Gregorian chant, and then like without missing a beat, I think it's just like 5, 6, 7, and then all the disciples, then everybody in the tent, and we're just like, oh, and like then we bring the sock up and it crescendos and it's like, you know, and anyway, those are the things that we're like, is anybody gonna watch this? You know, but But then one time I was out in the field and I had to 10-1. 10-1 is code for I have to use the bathroom. And I had sulfured up. We'd done the Gregorian chants, and and I was behind one of these overgrown bush trees out here, and sure enough, I was in the middle of it, and I felt some things on my leg, and I was like, interesting, something is on my leg. And I can't stop because I'm in the middle of the stream. Not the actual stream, but a stream. Not this live stream, but some stream. And I realized that there's a massive amount of ants crawling up my leg. I've never told anyone I've never really mentioned this, because what happened next was like the sulfur miracle of all sulfur miracles. In like a panic mode, without missing a stream, I like bunny hop, chicken leg kick, like wabba, and like all but maybe 2 ants fly off, like they couldn't hold on to the powder. They were like, whoa. And like maybe like I got stung by one of them, and the other one I just like I hit off. But like to me, it's like it's, dude, you gotta sulfur up. Let me tell you.
Sulfur up.
Sulfur up.
Oh, in those fields, man, those sulfurs are your best friend because you don't know what bugs are out there.
No, dude, no. It's like angry spiders.
Oh yeah, we're grassed up to our hips. Yeah,
who've been stomped by cows, so they're like trying to get revenge for their dead mother.
I've been out of film for 2 years, and I still have clothes that smell like sulfur. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, join this lane.
Hey, Willie.
Willie Molina?
There's also someone
showing up for the podcast.
Hoping I'd be the most handsome person here, but that didn't happen.
Abe's here. You got no chance tonight.
Danny!
Superman. 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
What's up, Danny? Another known guest on the Brosen.
Hey,
The first lady, bro.
And Willie, I don't think you've eaten yet, but we do have a crap ton of
Sammy's.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Ben Stockton, one of your favorite members of the Brosen. Thank you so much for giving us a listen or a watch today, whatever platform you're on. I wanted to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Trevecca Nazarene University. They are rated one of Middle Tennessee's top Christian universities. They have an outstanding film and television degree, and they're the alma mater of our very own Adam Drake. Plus, he's a professor there right now. So, if you go to Trevecca, you can not only get a film degree, but you can maybe have Adam Drake, our host of the Brosen, as your professor. How crazy would that be? All that to say, if you want to check it out and go to a fabulous school in the heart of Nashville, go check them out at trevecca.edu.
So,
All
yeah,
right,
man.
so-
Yeah. I don't know if I answered any of the questions. We probably, I'm.
No, this is what the podcast is.
Yeah.
No, you did. No. Well, let's welcome Willie Molina. We have not. We
Hey.
have personally not seen Willie in, I don't know, 2 months. I'm gonna cry. Okay. So what we were talking about before the great Willie joined us was you gave us a couple stories
did.
on set.
Showed you my battle wounds.
Something we ask everybody too, though, is like, what's one of your favorite memories or favorite stories from set? And you've got, I know there's a bunch because you've
So
already told
many.
a couple, but is there
Yeah.
any others like with some of the group that are just like laugh out loud too? You just remember laughing so much or having so much fun
God.
on a certain day
I mean,
or even a whole week? Yeah, like
I think for me, some of those are like the heartfelt moments. And so we're, season 3? We're in Shreveport. We're in that big wave pool.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone was like a dream come true, but also like the energy that had just happened in that moment. Yeah, and you know, coming off the pandemic, you know, lost my grandfather. We pretty much lost all the grandpas in my family. And then somebody from our cast had also lost their father 3 days before we started filming that. And so it's like it's this way that we all had to experience life in that moment, in that pool, you know, and that said cast member, who I'm just going to keep him private just to keep things private, but said cast member was talking to me in the moment about their parent as if they were still here, and then in the middle of the conversation they realized that their parent was no longer here, and then that cast member stayed on the boat while we all went back, you know. And so it was like this like moment of like, man, we're all doing this together and we're all here for each other. So that's like some of like this, those are the moments that I take with me forever. It's like we became brothers in that moment, you know, because we look out for each other. And so when we say it's brothers, it's not just, you know, the amount of cackles, the quiet on sets when we all get together, you know, but it's also those moments that, you know, people go through their regular lives while we're shooting films. Things happen, you know, life isn't forever. And so we all experience our regular lives here on set. And there's, because of the nature of the work and how focused we have to be, really the only family that you have in that time is the people around you. So I think that those stories, I think, could also kind of illuminate when we do say the word brother. It's because that's the shoulder that you cry on. That's the person that you, as we say in Spanish, like you get choked up over, like you can get choked up in front of a person and they're going to hold you down, no judgment, you know? And then, you know, you dry your eyes and all right, let's get back to work, you know? Cause that's what we're doing. We're not here because we wanted to like just 9 to 5 it. We want to do something special. We want to do something great.
Amen.
So to go back, that was would you say that's the strongest bonding experience you've had on the show with your brothers and disciples and Jesus?
Yeah, I would say so, because it really required a sort of just a listening ear, man. You know, when it's that fresh, and no one can do anything about it. You know, you could say you're sorry, but in many ways, for anyone who's experienced that, 3 days is so fresh. It's so fresh. You're almost not processing it. So I'd say that's one of the ones that just like solidified us, is like, we're all here for each other, and we were all there for our brother, man. I know that he felt the love for sure.
I think it's really sweet what you said about the cast feeling like your family, and everyone around you feel like your family, and you brought your little baby to set.
Oh my
today.
God.
You're a new dad, and you brought your baby, and everyone
was holding that baby
is
today.
running over and holding your
Oh
baby.
my God.
was
That
so
was
sweet.
Yeah, Austin sent me a video of your dad picking up my baby, and it just, Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I found out that you were going to be a father, I believe, the first time legitimately was when we went on that cold plunge up in the mountains in Utah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but see then, there, I mean, Willie, me, you, Roby, hiked 9 miles to get into a cold plunge. We hiked through 9 miles of snow to get to a cold plunge.
We saw some rowdy footsteps of an animal that we don't know what it was. But
most certainly was a mountain
couple
lion.
different
Most
footprints.
certainly was a
And
mountain
one were,
lion.
like,
And so
offset.
we have this bonding experience, and you know, all I can think about is like, I gotta do 5 minutes in this cold plunge. My wife's gotta have a baby, you know? And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna put myself in her shoes. I'm gonna start doing the breathing exercises. And that's kind of when I said, I was like, oh, I'm doing the breathing exercises to kind of, I don't know, some sort of solidarity, you know? But I mean, even then, Willie, like, was there a single soul around us? It was completely like, you could have heard a pin drop out there.
Where was our invite, Adam? I would have loved to go on this.
And the cold water was one thing, but it was when we got out and you're
then
up
you had to
high
hike
and that
back.
wind and that cold and the whole walk. We're like, we're going to warm up once we start going and we start stamping
I
our
was
feet.
shivering like
But it
this.
was literally 30 minutes and it was pretty much almost till we started to get back in the car where it's like, oh, wow.
I mean, how do you not bond with people? Like, I mean, since the start of the show, so many people have gotten married or had kids like that. And it's just like we've gone through life together over the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it really,
I think it's been hitting us as of late because we're on the back half of our second to last season.
Yeah.
With one season left, and you're realizing, oh my gosh, I've gone through life with these people. You had your baby. George had his baby. Like, you're bringing your family to set. Noah got married in the middle of shooting. I met Adam. He's officiating my wedding. Like, it's all that kind of stuff. Like, you are going through.
I'm his best man. It's like, what the heck? So weird. Like,
We've talked about this. You are not the best man. You're not even allowed at the wedding.
Sorry, I'm eating a Sammy.
No,
People
we're
hear me
having
chewing.
Dinner with the Brosen.
as you're chewing that Sammy Sam, next to Sammy Sam, what is like one of the most challenging days, weeks, experiences, scenes on set where you thought, oh, I did not expect this?
The feeding of the 5 and the week, actually it was the week before it scene. I don't know what scene it was, but man, it was, Jesus has just sent us 2 by 2. Philip and Andrew come back and they started a storm up north. And now they're like, we need some preaching to fix this. 'Cause we preached some things, and then now there's a city like in chaos.
Yeah, you're talking about the scene where Jesus stood in the circle, and it was all the different things that
Sort
were
of
around you guys.
factions,
We
the
shot that for, like,
the
5 days.
Nabateans,
The
yeah, yeah.
Nabateans, the whole group around, just sitting in that circle for like
And then
5 days.
other Jewish factions as well showed up. It's such a great scene, by the way. But that was, man, it was just the elements really took it. And I'm pretty good, you know, like we do cold plunges after 9-mile hikes in the snow.
On that ground.
Yeah.
There was something about it that really took it out, and it was the first time that I was like, you know, the power has left me. What's the Jesus line? Who touched me? The sun, man. The sun at 105 touched you.
Yeah. It was really hot for 2 weeks.
Yeah. That was just challenging, but it, you know, if you can endure it, then it's yours to endure. And if you can't, then I guess you better throw in the towel. No one did. But in terms of difficult shooting, right? Like I'd say and this is something I've talked about, but the Last Supper, it was so easy to get ahead of it. In like my modern brain to get ahead of it. And it was such a challenge to just stay there in the moment. And it's funny because I've been getting some really, really great questions from the fans about how I've played that scene and what are my thoughts. And they're picking up on exactly the challenges that I was having, which is like, so do you know or don't you know that that's the last time? And I was like, wow, that's a great question. I don't know, but I do know something. It feels like goodbye. Because like most of the time as an actor, you want to have you would have made a choice. It is strong to make a choice. But what if the choice is confusion? How do you play that? You can't play confusion. So what are you playing? You know, and to this day, like, I don't know what exactly I was supposed to know in that scene. But I believe that Big James had an idea and that he was putting the pieces together, but he just didn't know how, you know? And so it's like, it's crazy because, you know, Jesus is sharing this sort of divine insight that he has into what's coming next, and we cannot know it. We can hear it, we can listen it, and we can even understand it. It might hit us over the head like an anvil, but we will never know exactly it. And that was actually a note that Dallas gave me. He's like, yes, I know, but you don't know exactly. You know, you can't know exactly. So even if you know, you don't know. And that is like profound. That's a profound thing.
Well, speaking of you in the upper room, I got multiple comments about your performance in the upper room. Like multiple people saying, man, Big James got me. Like that's when I broke. Like a lot of people, like my wife told me that, and several others were like, I broke when Big James did. So, dude, well done. You crushed it. Like,
man.
Yeah,
my heart. The lines, bro, also is like the statement, like you chose us. You didn't choose anybody else, not in this lifetime. You could have picked any other time to come back, but you chose us, and that is enough. That statement alone is enough. I mean, when I read it, I had to like close the computer and be like, I don't know if I need to read that many more times. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it and see what happens. You know?
It is fun that you bring up the upper room being as challenging as it was, because I don't think we ever think about or remember how challenging it was until other people, like, we watched the season back, we talk about those stories. It feels a little bit like we blocked it out of how actually difficult that was because of how long we were in that room.
Do you guys? Does anyone remember how long we were? I kind of like, for me, it's a blur.
Yeah, it was 6 days.
6
days.
days.
It was a week and a day, I think.
A week and a day.
Yeah, I think it was 6 days.
For the audience context at home, where we are right now, like literally right behind this wall is our soundstage area where we do all of Phoebe's house and Pilot's mansion. But on the other side, like, there's another building with a tiny little upper room, and we were just in this enclosed space for 6 days doing the same lines over and over, the same blocking, same scenes. Everyone has to be in it, everyone has to be emotional. You have to account for Abe, for Shahar, for George, everyone that has to give something. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it was for you guys. But.
Yeah, it was a true challenge, man.
You know, what also makes it difficult is all the actors have to have a 12-hour turnaround when we're on stages every day, and it's the same actors every day. So we started at 7 a.m. on Monday morning. By the time we got to Friday, our call was like 5 p.m.
That's right.
We finished on overnights while we're inside because you have to just keep pushing the call, and because the same people every day in the same scene. So it just made it even more difficult. It's like, why can't we just come back at 7 the next day?
And it was like this weird thing, like where some days we were finishing and it was still day, and some days we were finishing and it was like in the middle of the night, you know,
so
the middle
you're
of
just
the morning.
messed up because you're in the same space all day and the same lighting all day. So then you go outside and you're like, where am I? And what time is it?
7 in the morning.
Yeah,
to drive home.
There were so many times that week when I woke up and I'd be like, dude, where's my car? You know? And it's an apartment complex. It's not complicated.
You're just lost.
I was just like, all right, I'm just going to start walking in a certain direction. We'll see what happens.
Those are the absolute worst, where you go to bed and you're so tired that it feels like your head hits the pillow and you wake up and you're like, is it already 4 a.m.? Do I have to go back in an hour? What do you mean I'm back on set in an hour? Like, no. This isn't happening, yeah.
But it's also, like I said, that's the fun part. Like, because like I said, if it's yours to endure, you'll endure it. And like filmmaking is that. Filmmaking is sort of an endurance game. And I really do enjoy that, man. And I need the time off. Like, when it's done, it's done. I don't need no phone calls, turning things off. I'm going to go just decompress for a little bit. But I really can't wait to get right back to it when that phone call rings. You're like, yeah, let's go.
You have to prep for living 5 months in a state that's not yours.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go home. And then the minute you're done, it's like, I can't wait to go back and live there for 5 more months.
100%. Yeah. 100%. World travelers. Dude, I got to say, you are cool as a cucumber, brother.
Oh, thank you.
I've learned a lot from watching you. And it's not that you don't care, but like when there's a situation that absolutely nothing can be done about except keep working and keep scratching away and keep chipping until you get to the solution, it takes someone really special to be like, all right. And you just have that. Like it's even in the way you say, all right. Like it's just like, all right.
Well,
Yeah.
Pictures up.
Yeah. Like I said, if it's yours to endure, you'll endure it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man. I definitely learned over the years that, like, especially like weather's the worst. It's so stressful, and I've learned that, like, man, there's nothing I can do to fix the weather. There's nothing I can do about Texas weather. There's nothing I can do about Utah weather. There's nothing like. The more I stress about it, like, it's not going to solve anything. It's not going to fix anything. So I got to learn to go, oh, this is what it is. Here's our options. I always go, okay, here's the problem. How many options can I present so that we can solve the problem?
Yeah.
And if they're all negative, well, there's nothing else I can do about it, but I'm going to do my best. And so, I kind of just learned to let that go a long time ago.
Sure.
It. But also, props to you, man. I was going to say, since you're bragging on me, I'm going to brag on you.
Sure.
Something I love about you, too, is even though you came in later with the group, a lot of the disciples were already here.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some were already here when you joined us. You still stepped into like a leadership role with all the disciples. I love how you're always like, let's go. Like, let's go. Like when I'm trying to get them, when you said like you guys are goofing off and having fun, I'm trying to get you guys focused and trying to get this. I'm like, hey guys, we gotta focus. We gotta finish our day. We're running behind. Like, you're always the first one to step up and go, come on guys, let's go. Let's get it together. And so I love that you've always taken great leadership of just like, hey guys, let's stay focused. Let's stay in it. Let's get this done. Let's do it right. So I love that about you. You've taken a great leadership role too with the group of doing that.
That's something that I've developed, and it's something I didn't have early in my life. It was something that was kind of like, it was a challenge. I was a mentor of mine challenged me to be first to go with, like, if there's no, because you have acting classes, you have all of these crazy schedules, and the second year of grad school they just try and throw as many scenes to see what your breaking point is. And so of course there's just going to be that class that you show up and you're like, dude, I had to prep 3 other scenes. I didn't go to sleep till 11. I woke up at 6 to try and start memorizing this one. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm gonna walk into the class, I'm gonna look like a fool. Yeah. You sort of find the ways to like cleverly be like, yo, that person's gonna go first. And you can buy yourself some time. But this professor challenged me to be like, go first every single time. Be first. Be first. Be first. And be willing to accept that the consequence for that choice is that you gotta go. You're not gonna be ready. But cultivate that ability to say, it's time to get to work anyway. There's all sorts of things that were done in my grad program to try and really throw you, like giving you the worst case scenario. And so like the last year, we take this class with this amazing professor who passed away, taught Tony Shalhoub, John Turturro. Like he had some real legends under his belt. His name was Andre Belgrader, and one of the first kind of throw you off your rocker exercises is he gives you this like 2-page monologue. He starts a timer for 5 minutes. You leave, and then when you come back, pages are out of the hand, and you got to start doing it on camera, and it's going to be rough. There's nothing about it is a comfortable process. But you have to go, you have to be first, and you have to get to it. Yeah. And so that exercise taught me a lot about, it's not my job to say cut. They'll say cut, right. Even if I get it wrong, you know? So yeah, like I said, it's something that was actively cultivated over the last 10 years of just being like, when it's time, it's time. And I love working, man. You know, I love working. So it's fun. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Opera first, correct?
Yeah, that was my first theatrical gig, opera. Yeah, La Traviata.
Do you hope to do an opera again?
No, man, I'm staying in my lane these days. No. It would be interesting, but I don't know if that's the experience I'm looking for right now. I am definitely looking to get back into the theater, though. I just saw Othello with Jake Gyllenhaal and Denzel Washington. And, like, you got to understand, it's one thing to be on a hit show. It's another thing to have had hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, like Denzel, and then say, I'm going to go do this show 8 times a week. And then I saw them the second to last night, and Jake Gyllenhaal was great, but what I saw from Denzel let me know that there are levels to the game, and I have a lot of work to do to be there. I mean, he was electric. When I've said I've never seen anything like that. The first half, he was strong. The second half, I was like watching a masterclass. I was like, where's the acting? I don't see it. What is he doing? How's he doing that? And I was like, I got to go back to the drawing board, man. So yeah, definitely would love to get back to the theater. Learning more about this craft of filmmaking. I think Tom Cruise said something about actors recently that kind of like struck a chord and struck true with me when they asked him, like, what's the biggest difference between like the stars that you worked with in the 80s and the stars that you're working with now? And he's like, in the 80s, everybody knew like what each lens was and what it was used for. So I'm learning more about this film craft, and I'm doing things a little different this year where I'm looking more behind Video Village. I'm like trying to challenge myself. It's like, well, what would I use? And like you got me
today.
I was like, I came. I was like,
you're like, I'm just studying, man. I'm studying.
I'm studying. Cool. Yeah, I'm like, why would he use like a 110 as opposed to an 80? You know, like I still don't know that. I'm still learning that.
You can learn a lot from Marquis too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So. Still, like I said, there are levels, and I got more work to do.
That's cool. I love that.
I think it's also just a testament to like I want to go in, I want to do a good job. The nightmares about forgetting a line. I definitely have had that where like I'm in a scene with Jonathan, and I'm just like, I memorized the wrong scene, So like of course your brain puts you in the worst position where it's like, not only did he not memorize the lines, but he came with the wrong scene. But yeah, I wake up, I'm like, it's not real. That's not the scene. We're good. Okay, good.
I have AD nightmares. I have for years.
Really?
Yeah. So
what are they like?
So what it is I'm laying on set like it doesn't make sense, right? I'm on set laying down and I can't get up, and everybody's waiting on me to call it. And I'm so tired I can't get out of bed.
That's insane.
And I'm laying there and I can't get out of bed, and everybody's waiting on me to call it.
I'm curious what Ben's answer was.
It was one reoccurring dream that started on The Unbreakable Boy in November of 2020, and I had it a couple times season 4 when things would get really hairy. But it is me standing in the middle of set, kind of like Adam, and I keep hearing people call for me, Ben. And I literally am like looking for my mic, and I can't find it. And I'm just like, I can't find it anywhere. And I'm like, I'm here. I swear I'm here. I swear I'm here. And I can't answer it. And I wake up literally like sweating.
Wow.
And
Sounds just like mine. Yeah.
Not fun.
Sam, you got one?
I have a frequent recurring dream that I show up to the background tent or to set not wearing any pants like Donald Duck.
Like Donald Duck.
And everyone's scrambling to find me wardrobe, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know where they went. And everyone's like, why'd you show up this way? I didn't mean to. I thought I did. Oh, that's cool.
The idea that you're somehow just unconscious and you just get to set, and that's when you realize, like, oh my gosh, I don't have any pants on. What's going on?
What were you just about to ask me, Willie?
Can we hear that scene play out as you being Daffy Duck?
Daffy Duck.
I like that.
Wow, that's good, man.
Yeah, my uncle does like a Daffy Duck, like he used to like tour and do a puppet, and I picked it up from him when I was young. I could always do it.
Man. Gosh,
my kids love to have me do it for them.
Dude, we never heard that story in 7 years. Interesting.
Why would we?
Dude, that's a great story.
Why would we talk about Daffy Duck? Yeah.
I've heard about the Febreze commercial. I've seen
what?
I've seen headshots. I've seen headshots that I never wanted to
Tell
see.
me.
Completely unsolicited, terrible headshots of Adam Drake under a waterfall, but I didn't know that he traveled with his uncle doing Daffy Duck.
It's Donald Duck.
What's this
actually,
Febreze story, Adam?
That was my first job. My first gig I ever got was modeling for Febreze.
And we're going to show that right
That is insane.
No, speaking of pulling things up, there was a fan who, and I shortly deleted this comment because I thought it was inappropriate. But now that we're all here, it was like, is anyone gonna do like the multiverse with the Big James, where like we're all pointing at each other, like the Spider-Man?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, delete comment. I don't even want that meme out there. So now for all you guys out there, that's probably gonna go. Like we'll see what happens.
We can arrange that.
Yeah.
Alan Schneider, pull that up right now of all three
dude, that
different
guy's
Big James.
genius.
Yeah.
That guy's a genius. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he is. He
meme
makes some. His meme game is strong.
Strong meme game.
I was looking at your IMDb credits. You are a pedestrian for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Sam.
I've been really close on a few video games, and then I think right now they're throwing things out there for the Dune video game.
Dang.
I know. You're a gamer, yeah.
I play a lot of video games.
Do you have a separate voice agent for all of that stuff, or is that just your commercial?
No.
in LA?
Yeah, no. That's a great story. I've never told how I got my commercial voice agent. So I was in New York doing like a theatrical showcase, kind of like where you go to New York, you showcase your talents to a bunch of professionals, and then they give you feedback, and it kind of like starts a conversation if they want to take you up or not. And I had taken a voiceover class, so I kind of had material ready, but I didn't really have a reel. And this commercial voiceover agent comes and she's like, hey, that was really good. Do you live in New York? It's like, no, I live in LA. It's like, well, we have an office in both. And I was like, okay, well, I'm out of LA right now. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'll set up a meeting. So I go to LA and they're like, do you have a reel? And I was like, yeah. Didn't have a reel. So then I like call, the person who like aced the voiceover class, and I was like, hey, I still have all my samples. Can you put me together a reel? Nice. And they do. I pay them money. I send in the reel. They were not impressed. That's about how much preparation, like it pans out, like you can't fake the funk. There's a level where they will know. They'll just know. But they were awesome enough to say, we heard Spanish in your reel. Can you speak Spanish? It's like, yeah, I can speak Spanish. Why can you speak Spanish? Well, because my mom's Mexican and like I lived in Mexico, so I speak it. It's like one of my first language. And they're like, cool, well, we have this commercial that just came in for Jeep. Do you want to go into our studio and record it? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And they were like, cool, we'll keep this as a sample and we'll keep you in mind. Did that. Was it like a week later? They call me and they're like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, oh, good. And I was like, maybe they want another meeting, or this is a plus, And they were like, we would like to sign you. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, because you booked like the voice of Jeep for 2016 in Spanish.
What?
And I was like, booked? And they're like, yeah, we took your audition and we sent it in. So I was like, so you sent it in without signing me? Clever. And they're like, yeah, this has never happened. So let's work. And I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, no, this is like a big deal. And I was like, oh, all right. So yeah, that 2016, I was the voice of Jeep in Spanish, and I did all the commercials for Jeep, from radio to television commercials. And then that kind of opened me up as this like weird fluke golden boy into the voiceover agency. They sold me to the video game guy. He was like, do you have a reel? I was like, I know better than this. No, I don't have a reel. Can you find someone who can help me make it? We take some time. We put together a reel and we start selling me out to some of the video game companies, man. And that's kind of how casting directors get to know you. And then I had already done motion capture at grad school. Robert Zemeckis donated a whole motion capture studio to USC. And so I got to work with Mike Fink and Zemeckis doing motion capture, man.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
But did Jeep give you a Jeep for all that work?
Dude, No. Do I wish?
I'll take the money. You could have sold the Jeep.
Give me a Tahoe.
And we're going to hopefully pull up those Jeep commercials right here.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
It was when their slogan was 4x4 forever. So if you can
you say that in Spanish?
Jeep 4x4 por siempre.
Oh, yeah. That was like music to my ears.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
That was pretty good.
He's smooth on the mic. The boy is
that
smooth.
was so soothing. Give us another one. That was soothing. Give us another one.
Oh, I was also Church's Chicken for, wow, I mean, dude, that lasted from before I got on the show until like maybe 2 years ago. I was the voice of Church's Chicken in Spanish.
Let's hear it.
And what was our slogan?
Oh man, that's good.
Churches. Okay, so this one was Spanish commercial and an English slogan. It depending on how they want to sell to the market. But it was like churches, bringing that down, home flavor. Like that one.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So, and then I can do a bunch of them.
Can you tell our audience that they have chosen the Brosen in Spanish?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay. They have chosen the Brosen.
Yeah.
Has elegido the Brosen chosen. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And keeping the brand, you have to keep in commercials. They want the brand to stay OG, like original.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to say Brosen chosen. But if they wanna kick it up a bit, they'll be like, do it with an accent, Brosen chosen.
I like
something
that. Yeah. That's nice.
So that was that. I mean, but then I've done everything under the sun for audio. I mean, literally, I've done every job conceivable, from doing audio description for the visually impaired, audio books, dubbing, and I don't know if this was AI or because we had some contractual disputes after this, but I basically taught most likely an AI to speak English and Spanish in a very similar way that I speak English and Spanish. And so they took all of these crazy measurements, and I was doing every day that I didn't work on season 3, I was working for Google at Dallas Audio Post. And then when we were done, I would go to California and continue to work with them.
Wow.
And basically was building a 1.4 million word corpus, 700,000 in English, 700,000 in Spanish, and it would range from talking about directions to reading poetry. I mean, everything under the sun. And at the end of these 6-hour sessions, you would get like a recap of your it was like your word count, the amount of sentences that you would produce per hour. And so I got really good at matching. So I was like, 11,000 words in 6 hours in English and 8,000 in Spanish. So they were looking for somebody. And even when the job came knocking, I knew, because there's just times where you have this feeling like nobody can do this copy, only I can do it the way they want it. Because it's like, we need perfect English in this sentence, and it needs to be perfect Spanish over here. And when I get those auditions, I'm like, this is me and like maybe 2 other guys in LA who have this specific talent, because I've worked on it. I've worked on canceling out my accent and keeping my Spanish native-like. And so they brought me in because I could hold down both languages convincingly enough to sound native in both. But like, if you do a deep dive, my Spanish is a little lacking at this point than my English.
Did we talk about what connected from opera to you ended up getting a master's? So when did the acting thing happen from opera?
Well, I never really studied acting for undergrad. It was just sort of this hobby that I had. I have a degree in linguistics and psychology for my undergrad.
Which is an acting degree.
Yeah, it's an acting degree, essentially. Yeah, linguistics and psychology. I mean, yeah, I did it as close as I could without, upsetting my parents. And I was like, I'm going to go be a lawyer, I promise. And then that didn't happen. But yeah, man, it was just basically that I was seeing people who were amazing actors or amazing artists, and I was like, when am I going to give myself a fair shot here? And so anything about me I hated school. I'm gonna be real. I hate school. When I went to grad school, I'm glad that I had that experience, but I was like, I will never go back to school again. I don't like being told what to do with my time, especially as it pertains to creativity. Like, for me, creativity flows.
Abe, we could ask you questions all night long. We do have to start wrapping it up, unfortunately.
Let's do it. Fire round. No,
I do want to hear, closing us out, your all-time favorite set story. Because at the end of the day, this is what the podcast is about.
Yeah. All-time favorite set story. I love that I'm part of a production that doesn't rest easy on anything that's known, doesn't try and redo too much of something that's already been nailed. It's kind of always trying to go for the next degree. And so the Oneer, I remember that being like a bucket list thing. Mm-hmm. And when we did the Oneer, it felt like we were on the edge of either winning or losing, right? And I knew that I was with the right people. I was like, if that's how serious they are about getting this shot, which is not going to be easy, and it wasn't, then I'm in the right place, because that's what dreams are made of, man. It's people taking the chance, going first, regardless of win or lose. So that Oneer to me represents the moment where I was like, dude, and then the way that we got it, the way, the energy, the stakes were so high. I can't explain to people that there was like maybe 10 seconds more in either direction, and that shot would not have happened. Right, essentially.
Yeah, it would have been completely dark.
Hundreds of that,
and the day's over, and we have to try another day.
Yeah, we have to.
It's going to cost so much money.
So, man, the stakes were so high. It was so exciting, and like, talk about jubilation, triumphant, everything. Like your whole soul just like came out of your body with both celebration and relief that we got that Oneer. So that to me is like, job well done. We all slept well that night. So yeah.
Well, Abe, I think it's safe to say, with all your stories, with all your experience, like, even though you are the third Big James, it's hard to imagine the show without you.
Hey,
you go back and you're like, no, you are Big James. Yep. You are our Big James. We love working with you. We love having on you. Having having you on set.
Having on you, eh?
Excuse me?
That is what he said. Brosen After Dark.
Whoa!
Hey.
Abe, we want to thank you for having
Chosen the Brosen.
Well, Sam's the other guy. I mean, you haven't heard his Spanish?
Yeah, I heard his Spanish is great.
Too. Yeah, he's the third guy.
El Jeep.
El Tipo.
Perfect native
Dude,
Spanish.
so native.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you talk Spanish, I could just be like, I could just lay down, go to sleep. Like,
Dude, I'm smooth. I'm
It's so
smooth.
soothing. It's so soothing. Yeah, go ahead, Gabe.
Antes de que aventáramos nuestras fiestas en la playa, Jeep 4x4 por siempre.
I feel like I'm on set right now.
It's so soothing.